Hi everyone. I went to London to study in the year 2004. I thought I would go there, I would study, I would earn some money, and I would come back. To be very honest, I didn't have much money in my pocket, and to go to London, I had to do sort of bank arrangement with one of the bank managers. I cannot take the name of the bank manager, obviously. So I had no money. I had to pay him, and he showed that my dad had certain amount of money in his bank account. And this way, I got visa. Right? I'm sorry. I'm being very straightforward. And I went to London, and the flight was about to land, and I had a closer view of London for the very first time in my life. I was very excited. And at the same time, I was very nervous because it was a completely new environment for me. And at that point in time, there were no friends of mine, no close relatives. I was very confused. Aeroplane landed. I got off the plane. I got to see the beautiful view of London City. It was incredibly beautiful. I took a tube. I asked someone, I found people in London, they were very friendly. So I had an address and I showed that address to one of the Londoners, and he suggested me to take the tube and to get to zone 2. And I got on the tube, I went to the address, I found a person, he helped me a lot. And then I was at home and he left me, he had a night shift. And then, I don't know why, I didn't eat anything for the last about 17, 18 hours, so there was a fox in my stomach, and I was desperate to eat something. But trust me, I had no pound currency in my pocket. I didn't even know where to go to exchange the currency, like from dollars to pounds. I was so confused. I cried for 2, 3 hours. I was very confused. That night, I slept. In the morning, I woke up and I decided I would have a new start. And you know what I did? I got dressed, and then I had my dollars in my pocket. I took some of them, and then I went to a shop. I had to find an exchange shop where I could exchange currency from. So I found it and exchanged it. And you know what? Before going to London, I already had printed some CVs, so I got them in hand. So what I did, I asked some people, as I've said, like people of London, they were so helpful. And I asked them, how can I get to zone 1? Because that is always the hot spot of London. So I went to zone 1. There were loads of high streets down the road. So what I did, I took all my CVs, a bunch of them, so many of them. I got all of them under my armpit. And then what I did, I started dropping my CV on every shop, one after another. And my first IELTS score in 2004, I appeared for the test probably in April, and I went to London in November. So I had a very valid IELTS score, and it was 8.5. It was probably because of that I started getting calls from all these shops, right? They called me to walk in there. And then what happened? Eventually, I faced some of the interview boards, and trust me, for the very first time, I got to know about my problems. Otherwise, before that, I thought I was very smart. My English was very good. I was so confident. And suddenly, I appeared before an interview board, and I went in there. I remember it was for one of the shops, and the name of the shops, chain shops, it was Sainsbury's. So they were hiring some sales representatives for them, like okay, about but they would be working obviously on the floor. And we were about like 50, 60 young boys and girls in there waiting for the interview. And trust me, at that point in time, I found they were all very extrovert. They were all very, if not good looking, but they were all very presentable. They were well dressed and they were so confident. They were literally chirping like birds with each other. They were talking, they were extrovert. And I was so nervous. And I suddenly felt that, trust me, I'll be very honest, I was not presentable at all. I looked at them and I felt I was very unsmart. I looked at them and I felt I couldn't even talk like them. I looked at them and I thought, look, they most of them they had colorful hairs, spiky hair, and you know what? I put some oil on my head. I was looking so peculiar. I put some oil, and I didn't even have any gel. It was back in 2004, and I tried to spike my hair, but it didn't really work out, and I was looking literally like a clown. And you know what I did? I went to toilet. I was feeling so bad. I washed my face and all. I freshened up. Then I came back. And again, I found I was so unsmart. And you know what? As usual, I was confident I was fluent in English, but the way they were talking, they all had accent. They were all very confident. You know what? Your body language is so very important. See, I'm talking to you. Like, I straight away look into your eyes and you can feel I'm very, very confident, right? But I didn't have this confidence at that point in time. So I was so nervous, I was so confused. So on the other hand, those were all mesmerizingly confident. They were literally looking at the interviewer's eyes. And you know what happened? It was an open interview. I had no idea what an open interview is. They got all of us sit on some like rows of chairs. We all got us sitting there on them. And then they started asking open questions. Okay, you stand up. Why should I take you? Okay, you stand up. What's your strength? Okay, you stand up. What's your weakness? And then it was my turn. And someone said, like, you stand up. And I was like, oh my God. Otherwise, I was so tense. I said, oh my God, should I run away? Then I tried to pacify myself, right? And then I stood up and he said, okay, you tell me, I have been interviewing all of you. Why should I take you and not them? And I was so confused. I said, why will he take me, not them? I was so confused. Trust me, I didn't even know what to say because even if I was the interviewer, I wouldn't take myself, right? So I couldn't answer anything. I was looking at them and I was thinking about myself and I thought, like, I would never even take myself. Like, how can I answer? Why would I take you and not them? I would definitely say, like, you take them and you don't take me because I'm not qualified. I'm not smart, right? And I couldn't answer that properly. It was my very first interview in London. I was so confused. And you know what? I got confidently rejected. I knew that I would reject it. I got out of it because we had to wait there for about 20 minutes and they shortlisted me with about 50, 60 of them. 20 of them were shortlisted and I wasn't there, definitely. And I got out of the office and I started thinking, you know what? I was not presentable. I was not smart. I was an extrovert. I had no quality. Trust me, I had 8.5 band score in IELTS and I always thought I was so confident, so smart, but I was not. And then, you know what? I made up my mind that I have to be confident, I have to be extrovert. And then, you know what? My first job was in a pub. In a pub. So it was actually in Cambridge. I decided my college was in London. One of my Bangladeshi friends, I got hold of him after that, after 2-3 days of this occurrence. And then he said, would you be interested working in a pub? But it was owned by a Bangladeshi person and he was from Ceylon. I went to the pub. And since it was at one remote corner of Cambridge, I started working in a restaurant, and the name of the restaurant was New Maharaja or something like that. It was New Maharaja or something like that. So I was serving at the, I would say maybe it wasn't a proper pub. It was a restaurant, but it was a bar in a restaurant. So I was serving drinks to people, and you know what? I started getting to know people, even speaking with different accents. Like I met some people from Cambridge. I met some people from Scotland. I met people from Ireland. And you know what? I started picking up different types of accents. And trust me, I decided I would speak with full British accent the next 2 months of time. And you know what? I started interacting with people. And you know what? I spend nights with completely drunk people talking to them in English. My only intention was I was going to pick how they speak in British accent. Even them Irish people, it was very tough to access them the way they talk, yeah? Even I spent a sleepless night with Irish people. They were drunk, half drunk, and I was talking to them. I was trying to get what they say. They told me the entire life story, and I was just listening to them because my only intention was to pick Scottish accent, Irish accent, British accent. I picked them all. After 3 months of time, I joined my college, and then I started working for an English person, right, in a customer care center. So it was a customer care center of Vodafone. It was a proper mobile networking company. So because I got the work, because by then I was so confident and I was talking very good. My listening was very good. I was so confident. Even I could listen like Scottish people. Like I was half sleep, but still an Irish person was talking to me. I could pick what he was saying. The Scot was talking. I could pick what he was saying. Like so, I got quite used to British accent. And then even I started speaking, I was speaking with a complete British accent within the next 2 3 months of time. I was running orientation with the proper British people. So they used to talk to me. They say like, "Oh, are you from London?" Because I probably had an accent, what the way them Londoners had them, right? So I was fluent, and I started doing very good. And eventually, within the next 6 months of time, I promoted as the assistant manager of that customer care center, and there were about genuine British people working under me. Okay, so I got my language problem solved, and then I thought I have to go up and up and up, and then I started going to gym. I thought I have to look. I know I am ugly, not very good looking. So I thought I have to be presentable. So start going to gym, and trust me, it took me 3 years to change my shape. I'm not saying that I'm in a very good shape, but trust me, I was a broken man when I was in London. When I started my career in London, I was broken. And then what? I started bodybuilding, and then after 1, 2, 3 years of 2 years of time, I realized that no, now I look good. Now I've been presentable, and trust me, it took me about 2, 3 years of time to be extrovert. And then I started talking to people, interacting with people, and I was so confident, so very confident. Any interview I faced after that, any of the companies, trust me, I went through all the interviews. I was successful in all of them. And then I attempted my IELTS test for different reasons, like to pursue my higher studies for scholarships. And then I taught in University of Westminster. I taught their IELTS, and I taught IELTS at Seacoast London College to students. I taught language to the students who were coming from different parts of the world to attend college. So it was my responsibility to work on the English language. So I was doing very good. Okay, I have shared my own story. Okay, and then what? I just told you that my father was not in a very good shape. He wasn't that affluent, so I had to return all the money. So I returned all the money of my father that he took from different people sent to London. Okay. And then I became solvent. I had some money saved. I was studying as well, and I did very good. So the reason I was telling you all these things, guys, today is, look, it took me a long time to realize the demand of the market. You see, you're studying now. You're doing your honors. You're doing your masters. You're not working on them basic things. You know what basic things I'm talking about? You're not working on your language. You're not working on your English. You're not working on your physics. You're not working on your confidence. You're not working on your extrovertness. You have to be working on that, right? You need to be dealing with people. Guys, the reason I'm telling you all these things today, because you're studying, this is high time that you start working on all these things. You have to start working on presentation, how to deal with people, how to talk confidently, how to go extrovert, how to be fluent in English. You have to be mesmerizingly good even when you speak in Bengali, which is your mother tongue. Remember, it's a shame if you cannot speak in your mother tongue properly. You got to be working on all these things. And these things don't work overnight, guys. It took me a long time. I cried. You know what? I just told you I used to talk with completely drunk people to to learn accent from them. And I got tired and I slept on the road, but still I didn't go home. This is how I learned English. I had that intention. Now, see, not too many people at that point of time used to use internet. Internet was very uncommon then, right? It wasn't very common. Now you have internet access. You can listen to Irish people speaking. You can listen to Scottish people speaking English. You can listen to British people speaking. You can easily pick accents. There are loads of sites you can have access to, and you can get accent and you can copy them. It's easy, but still you are not doing it. Guys, please, for God's sake, start working on yourself. Grow yourself presentable. Work on yourself. You need to look smart. You need to look presentable. You need to look fit. You need to look confident. You have to be an awesome English speaker and a Bengali speaker. You would have your degrees like honors and masters. In addition to them degrees, when you have all these qualities and skills, trust me, sky's the limit. You would shoot up, boom, right? It wouldn't take you that long that took me. No one told me all these things in my life when I was young. I wish someone would have told me all these things. Trust me, I would have literally been flying in the sky by now. It's been too late. I went there, I faced all these problems. I realized these are the barriers and hurdles I need to win over. And it took me some time. So I'm telling you all these things. Start working on your presentation, on your physics, on your smartness, on your speech, right? On everything that you need to be successful. Okay, thanks for bearing me for so long. And I know I've bothered you people a lot. I'm sorry about that. Please do work on yourself. One more thing. No cigarette, no smoking, no drinking. It will give you some extra confidence. It will keep you fit. Stay good. Thank you very much. Bye.